Hi, this is Dorothy with Scrapbooking, and this is one of the ornaments that we're going to be making. It's a little shaker Santa ornament. So cute, right? You can see the rest of the ornaments sort of in the background. Well, I'll be showing you how to do all of those. So this is called Merry Making. It's a special until December 31st from Close to My Heart. And I'm showing you the flyer that shows you the different groups of ornaments that you can get. You can either get them separately or all as a big bundle. So you have a snowflake and a little wooden shaker that you could put your child's picture in as a little gift to the grandparents. A bell, these are the close-ups, and a little traditional ornament down at the lower right. The black signifies the SVG file that you get when you purchase the groups either separately or as a bundle. You get 20% off. So it ends up being like $19.95 for 12 ornaments. And I actually squeezed more than 12 out because I didn't just do them exactly how it says. But that's okay, right? I mean, it's our ornament. So I'm just kind of showing you the size. That's about 3.25 by, say, 4.5, and the two round ones are 3 by 3s, and the pear shape or the teardrop shape is maybe about 3.5 by 3. So not super big, but the SVG files can go into your design space, and you can cut it with your Cricut, which is exactly what I did. Now, I will tell you, if you end up cutting it, I would start off with some scrap paper and see how they cut. If they don't cut right and you're just cutting negative space, then you want to select the image, hit attach, and I promise you that will take care of it. So I want these to really stick. I don't want the paper to curl up and come off. So I'm using liquid glass, which is our super strong glue. I mean, we call it liquid glass because it kind of hardens to be as hard as glass. So I'm just using a little thing that I've got, a little wooden embellishment that I've got to spread the glue out. So I don't want any big blobs. I want it to kind of spread out and go to the edges. So I will tell you, I spent some time cutting out lots and lots of pieces from the SVG files. I pulled out my whole stash of glitter paper and decided to use, I'm kind of into using up the stash if you can. So why am I collecting glitter paper? I ask you, why am I collecting it? It's time to use it. So this is a great thing to use glitter paper for. I mean, if it's not Christmas, what else, right? So I'm just kind of going through. You can kind of see what I'm doing here. And there are times that I have to set these aside and let them grab up a little bit, because the liquid glass, as good as it is, it takes a little bit to dry, sometimes around 20 minutes or so. So I've used, in addition to the Cricut cuts, I used my circular die cut, thin cut that makes circle shaker windows. And so I cut some of those to just kind of finish and add a contrast to the edges. You don't have to. Actually, the little glitter one right there is just perfectly fine as it is, because it really is pretty and all shiny. But I did like the contrast with that blue. It just kind of makes it look extra cold. So this little pair, I kind of I had fun with this one. Actually, I had fun with the whole darn project, to tell you the truth. This was really, it makes you feel good when you're making Christmas ornaments. So I went ahead and cut out green and red. I mean, how traditional can you get, right? And I just made the ornament as you see. Now, honestly, you could add a little bit of foam around and you could make this into a shaker window with the little slots, but you have to work that. I'll show you some of the other shakers that I made. So there it is, as green on one side and red on the other. Now, not everybody is covering these on both sides, but I tell you what, when I hang ornaments on the Christmas tree, they always hang, no matter how I try, they always hang with the back side out. So I don't know. I change it around, I flip it over, and it still hangs the wrong way. So I'm not letting this get the best of me. I'm going ahead and covering it. That one didn't cut perfectly, but it was because I was dumb, not because of the cut. It's because I didn't realize that I didn't have a deep enough piece. I was using up my scraps. But I thought, well, it doesn't really matter because it's going to get covered up. So, all better. No problem. After I kind of thought through. See, I'm just leaving the little tip. But look, when you add this, magic happens and poof, everything's all better. So I kind of like having the white show through. I mean, that's kind of, adds some contrast to the white and the green, makes them stick out a little. Looks kind of candy cane-ish on this side. I just think it's so pretty. There's a reason why I don't use my glitter paper, because sometimes I just like to pull it out and look at it and make it be shiny. And don't tell anybody I told you that. So this is the other one. Now I decided to do kind of the opposite and use green, a whole green one, and then the open one for the green on one side, green and red and green. Now this bell, I have to tell you, the bell is really cute. And, really this would be, if you wanted to use this, I was thinking wrong here. So don't pay attention to what I'm doing right now except for the glue. If you want to paint these, you can totally paint them. This wood sucks up the marker color really well. See, now I put it on there. So you could paint it. So you could have a nice little simple project with your kids and use the, we've got our tri-blend markers. So you can use the all different colors and blend with the 3-color marker, or you could use the distressed oxides also as a way to paint them. Now I haven't used them to see how well they dry, but so if you see, I did one bow in pink. So I'm kind of showing you that the pink is on the inside of the bow, and then you've got the red. Now you don't have to do that. You could just do a red, bigger bow there and just leave it at that. But this kind of shows you that there's kind of a, inside of the bow. Just adds a little bit more interest, a little bit more detail. And I used my silver foil, which has also been sitting doing nothing, even though it's so pretty. But I save these things. I'm a hoarder. My house doesn't look like a hoarder house except for my craft room. There's a problem where I don't like to use these things that are pretty. So I'm really trying to force myself to use the pretty stuff, because what am I waiting for? What am I waiting for? So I love this bell. Look at that beautiful big broad rim around it. And then there goes the pink bow again. Now you could use white there. That would be pretty with the inside of the ribbon being white. Look how pretty that looks. It's a little nice. And then the knot is in the contrasting color, the pink. So this one was just a silver bell on both sides. So I'm liking these. I'm really liking these. I'm having a hard time just trying to, because I'm kind of thinking on the fly here of, what to put together. And so I kind of decide I'm going to have a little stamp. Pulled out a couple of my little M stamps from probably a couple of years ago, to tell you the truth. And this is a cute little Santa face. And I'm going to stamp him in my intense black so that I can color him. So it's just a cute little shape and perfect for the inside of this little circle. And then I'm going to make a shaker window out of it. And he is going to be adorable. So here's my tri-blend marker outlining in the dark red. And then I use the medium and come on the inside some. And then I've got the lighter going on the inside. So you can see there's a little difference in color. It kind of gives you just a little, instead of just flat, it just adds a little, I don't know, depth to it maybe. And I was going to just use the shiny shimmer brush, which would have dried very quickly. But I didn't. I used stickles and I made them big and thick and fat. So they're going to take a really long time to dry because stickles, I don't know what's in stickles, but dear goodness, they take a long time to dry. And so they just had to sit, he had to sit aside for a little while. I'm using a very pale pink shimmer brush to add a little pink to his nose and to his cheeks. I have to tell you, I love the way the white glitter looks with this blue glitter. And I want to say that this is Bluebell, our color of the year last year. And I mean, you know, blue and white it just looks cold to me. And look at how that snowflake sticks out now. So this is the snow after it sits for a little while and gets real crispy on top. And when you step on it, it crunches. Okay, so he sat for a long time. And then I had to take a dryer to him because he was still wet. And that was probably a couple of hours, really. So anyway, he's dry now, and it helped that I used a dryer. I used the same dryer that you use to heat up the embossing pellets, the embossing beads. So it gets very hot. So you don't want to get too close because it will scorch the paper. So I'm adding my double stick foam shaker window piece, and I'm going to add snowflakes that fall all over the place. And we have these gorgeous little gems, and they're faceted. So they're super shiny, and they just look like little gems. So I added some clear ones and some red ones, along with the snowflakes. So I'm doing my little anti-static pouch to keep all the things from sticking to the plastic. And of course, I do that and I forgot to take the protective ring off. Okay, so here's my little Santa. And then I'm going to add, he could just go like that. So I'm trying to decide whether I should put the depth on there for the ring, but I just decided to go ahead and just put the blue. Sorry, I'm back. Hubby was calling. Okay, so now I've got this green. You know, I forgot to look at the color. I don't know if it's julep. I don't think it's mint. My goodness. Anyway, it's a light green. Sorry, I don't know what color that is. Beautiful. It's beautiful is what it is. Absolutely gorgeous color. And I'm using one of my M stamps that's a snowflake because it's perfect. And it so happens we carry the stickles, this green stickles, that is a perfect match to this green glitter paper that we have. And so I made my snowflake, and then I covered it all with the stickles, and it just made it extra pretty. Just adds a little glitz and shininess and a little bit of color to the snowflake. I'm just covering all the lines. It's real super simple, and if you don't, so you just want to make sure you don't want to squeeze too hard. It's a lot more lines than you think. It's pretty, right? Look at how pretty that is. So it's just perfect with that green. So that has to sit, and I'm going to put my glue, my liquid glass on there. You know, if you have never used liquid glass, I would suggest you get some, because it's the glue that you want when things have to stay where they belong. Now, I wouldn't want to use it on a whole lot of paper, like for a scrapbook page, because, you know, you're going to get that kind of wrinkly look. And I'm going to do this side, and I'm trying to decide, I should just let it sit for a little bit and dry. Put my little M stamp back. We always carry, just so you know, we always carry M stamps. And I don't think I got any Merry Christmas ones for this year. But I had several from the last few years. So there are some that are out there in the catalog. And you can look under, when you go shopping, you can look under stamps. And you can look under seasons or holidays to find them. Anyway, I love the little M stamps, and they're only like $3.95 each. So, getting all of my bells done. The thing with the liquid glass is you want to make sure that the nozzle is clear before you put the cap on. So every so often you want to squeeze it a little bit to make the air pop any kind of bubbles, push any stuff that's out there, so it doesn't just become hard as a rock inside the little skinny nozzle. So I have to tell you, this little wood thing is kind of a pain. But I probably have cheap, super cheap brushes around someplace that I didn't pull out. So here's this beautiful bell. So, so lovely. Now, if you can imagine how I held on to my pink. I have several colors of pink that go way back from several years ago. Because they're so pretty, I haven't used them. I'm so proud of myself that I'm using these things. I'm bragging on me, and I shouldn't be. I'm encouraging you. I'm not bragging. I'm encouraging you to pull out all those special sheets of paper, and this is a perfect use for them. So I made a solid background with this. I mean, you get both the solid and the cut piece for your SVG files. So that's how I decided, instead of doing them all the same, each one of these ornaments ends up being a little different. And so it's kind of fun. I didn't go all the way up on the loop. No reason why. Probably should have, but anyway, that's going to sit there and dry. But I think I ended up, if I'm not mistaken, you start off with 12 ornaments, and I want to say I ended up with like 13. And I think this is the reason why. If you see, I'm using, okay, so I cut 2 snowflakes in the glitter paper, and I'm gluing them together back to back so that it's a glitter snowflake on both sides. It also adds strength to the loop. So that can sit there and wait. And now I'm back. And I'm putting the wood ring on one side and the wood ring on the other side. I'm still trying to figure out how this is going to work. So I'm going to put one wood ring there, flip it over, and add another wood ring on this side. So this is going to be a little bit thick. And then I'm going to use 2 round windows and 2 round foam shaker window pieces. So I'm making, I didn't put this on, it really needs to go all the way to the very edge, the outside edge. I do better on the second one. So I'm going to put a window on one. Put my anti-static pouch to it. Add the decorative ring to cover up all the insides. And flip it over. And then I'm going to put another green ring and another of the shaker window pieces. I am making a double-sided shaker window. And this is just a little bit tricky because you can't kind of bend this up to pull this off. So I'm kind of getting under there with you could use like a little spatula or something, and pulling all the little pieces up, trying to keep the ring in place. Semi did a good job of that. And then I'm going to pour in a bunch of snowflakes. And to tell you the truth, I could have put more in because this is really pretty thick. And I'm adding a bunch of the clear gems. Could have put more in. Ooh, and these are lagoon. And I pulled the lagoon out because the iridescence in the snowflakes is kind of that blue lagoon color. Okay, I'm covering. Oh my goodness. So I really like this one. It was just I really liked it. And like I said, I was just kind of thinking of that one on the fly, not really knowing how it was going to turn out. So I'm going to go ahead and make another snowflake. And this one I'm probably going to do with the blue stickles. Couldn't think of the name. That's pitiful. And I'm using the blue because it's the same color blue as the bluebell. I mean, it was just such a perfect match. It just kind of blew me away that we had the colors of the stickles and the stickles and the glitter paper just matched perfectly. And to tell you the truth, this was really fun. I had a good time doing this part of it. And it looks, you can't really appreciate it on the video, but it looks really pretty in person. You can definitely see the blue. Yeah, I liked it. So anyway, I'm going to be, doing that and letting it dry. See how pretty that is? And it, it's adds, some sparkle and color. And so there's my green one. And I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. Oh, it's so hard to think. Think. That goes. Oh, sometimes I have a hard time watching myself think. I seem to take an awful long time doing it. So I'm doing the easy part. I'm adding the round piece, the solid piece to the back. And this is cut. I did not do that, of course, in glitter. I just did it in regular white daisy cardstock. And that's going to, I don't know what I'm doing here. Going to get my windows. And I'm using, I always use a little sharp edge. This happens to be a tweezer to loosen the edges around the squares from the circle piece. And it really does help to pull them away when you do that. So I would suggest doing, it's real simple. I mean, whatever, whether you use the edge of your scissor or, like I said, the tweezer or the piercing tool, whatever you have that has a sharp edge to it, to loosen the edges there. So then it can come off a lot more easily. I'm trying to find where the cover is for the window. And my anti-static. So of course with the snowflake, I have to add snowflakes, right? You just kind of have to. Those snowflakes are so pretty. And that's another thing. I've held on to embellishments and not used them. And it's like, okay, let's just load up with embellishments. Let's go ahead and use all of this stuff. And I'm using another color here. I think it's called grape. But the iridescence has, in addition to the kind of lagoon blue, there's a tad of purple, lavender color with the iridescence. So that's why I thought to use some of the kind of lavender purplish gems. I get all the colors, and then I sit there and look at them and say, oh, they're so pretty. So this is me saying, oh, look, they're so pretty, and I'm using them. Once again, thinking, think. So I'm covering this. We'll see what happens. I think these are going to be nice to put on the Christmas tree. I haven't put the Christmas tree up yet. Oh, so I'm making a blue snowflake. So, and I'm putting white shaker window on the outside, which really makes that blue pop a lot. So, I really think each one of my ornaments came out different. So on one side of the snowflake, I have the blue snowflake, and the other side I have the white. And then on the one side, I've got the white ring. Whoops. The other thing about using the liquid glass is you have some time to scooch things around to get them just perfect. So there I've got white and blue on one side and blue and white on the other. Now I kind of have to figure out what I'm going to do over here. You know, it's fun to make everything different. I mean, you can make everything, just one color. That's cool too. But a little difference is a good thing. I could even start giving these to Philip so he'd have some. He's not into the mode yet. He's still in the mode of coming over and having Christmas with us, which I am not knocking that. I am happy that he's doing that. But when he gets if he ever gets his own family, then he's going to want to have his own stuff. And I think I've got a whole lot of Christmas decorations I can give him. So I'm thinking, okay, shaker, looks like a shaker to me. Anti-static pouch, snowflakes. Yeah, that's how you know it's me. End up things getting stuck to each other. And then we're just going to put a nice, I didn't add any, because this isn't a super deep shaker window. I just added the flat snowflakes, no gems. And then just the white. So super simple. And there we go. There's all the different, color isn't very good here. I don't know why it looks so yellow. But there's all my, so I had 3, 6, 9, 12. I ended up with 13 ornaments when I actually only bought 12. So there they all are. There's little Santa looking cute. And my snowflake with my snowflake. And the original, then the getting crazy and going, that's my favorite. That's another favorite. That's also a favorite. I like my silver bells. Love silver bells. So there we go. Now the only thing that I haven't done yet is, it occurred to me that the color here is a little bit better. I found some of my stash ribbon, okay? And it occurred to me I didn't add any hanging pieces to it. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking my ribbon and, I kind of decided to just cut it like 8 inches long. And, instead of making bows, I'm just doing a little knot. And that just makes it easier for me rather than tying a bow. I'm just making the double knot. And so the rest of these, I'm going to end here with a little bit of Christmas music. And I hope that if you haven't subscribed to me, to please subscribe to me and ring the bell so you know when another video is coming. I've got a lot more videos to do. So I hope you enjoyed this and let me know what you think. Tell me if you're going to be making any of your own ornaments. I would love to hear from you. Just leave a comment below and I'll have links to all of these items below the video. Thanks for watching, and here we go with some Christmas music. Hi, I'm Dorothy Smith. Thanks for watching my video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and learn along with me. Thanks. Bye-bye.